pockets, you're going to need a pair of the back pocket bags, a pair of the back pocket facing, a pair of the front pocket facing, and 3 pairs of piece number 9. 2 of these pairs will need to be interfaced. For steps 2 and 3, you will need to make sure you interface over your tacks at the side seam to reinforce them. This is because this will be where we assemble the pockets. I'm going to make sure that when I pin, I'm pinning through both tacks on both sides to make sure that everything lines up. Once it has been pinned, you can stitch. Once I've sewn the side seams, I can snip up to the tack. It is important to not snip through the stitching that you've just done. For the first half of step number 6, you are going to be working on your back pocket bags. To start with, we will take the back facings and we're going to press in the inside edges. Here, I'm just taking a ruler and measuring in 1 centimetre. Now this is pressed, I can take it over to the back pocket bag and I can line up my tacks. It is important that when I lay this over that I'm going to match these tacks perfectly. Once I've pinned that facing to the back pocket bag, I can edge stitch the inside edges and I'm stitching inside the seam allowance on the outside edge of the pocket to anchor those together. Once again, snipping up to the tack, but not through that line of stitching. For the second part of step number 6, we're going to be working on the front pocket bag. I'm going to take my front pocket facing and lay it right sides together with my front pocket bag. When I come to pin this in, I want to make sure that my seams are crossing at the ends. To do this, I'm going to measure in 1.5 centimetres and I'm going to make sure that is where these seams intersect, as that is where our line of stitching is going to be. Once this has been pinned, it can be stitched at 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. When we flip it open, we can see that those seams are intersecting really nicely where we've crossed those seam allowances. We can overlock the raw edges or zigzag and press the seam towards the pocket. Once again, we're going to snip from the angle of the pocket facing up to the tailor's tack. At step number 7, we're going to begin attaching the pocket bags to the skirt. So taking the front skirt, which has the angled seam allowance, I'm going to lay my front pocket, which we have just worked on, right sides together with the seam allowance that we have separated from the side seams of the skirt. When I pin, I'm going to make sure I match both of my tacks. The bottom tack will correspond to the bottom of that separated seam allowance where we snipped up to the tacks. Once again, I am pinning through the tacks and I'm matching the end of my snip on the pocket with the end of the snip on the side seam. Once that has been pinned on, it can be stitched to the skirt. Once the front pocket has been sewn onto the front skirt, we can fold the back skirt out of the way and press those seam allowances towards the front pocket and front pocket facing. Then we can edge stitch along the front pocket facing, which will prevent the facing from flipping around and showing on the front of the skirt once the whole pocket and skirt is assembled. So at this stage, we're going to attach the back pocket bag to the front pocket bag. As per instructions, it is French seamed, so I am laying the pockets wrong sides together to begin with. We're going to pin the outside edge at about 1/2 centimetre seam allowance and stitch. We will not be sewing up the straight edge at this stage. Once this has been stitched, we can then press the pocket bag and turn through. For our next stage, we're going to sew it at a centimetre seam allowance. So at this stage, we're flipping the back skirt out of the way again and flipping the pocket under the front skirt so the facing is facing outwards. We're going to match the tacks at the side seam once again, and we're going to match the tack at the top of the pocket to where the pocket slant is. It is important to make sure that these line up correctly so that the pocket is in the correct position and lays flat. We are going to run a line of tacking down the pocket opening to hold it closed for the rest of the pocket construction so nothing shifts. Here I'm just taking some pins to pin my tacks in and make sure that nothing moves out of place. So for this next stage we are going to be using one of the piece number 9s. Obviously we have cut 3 pairs, and 2 of which are interfaced and 1 is not. The main way to tell them apart, as it's quite a tricky piece to be able to tell which side is which, is by the position of the tacks. The position of the tacks corresponds to the outside tack on the side seam. We are going to be taking one of those interfaced pairs and laying it with its tack matching the corner of that pocket, and we are going to pin in place. As you can see here, this one doesn't have the tack in the correct place. So I've stay stitched up and past my tack just inside the seam allowance, and once again I'm going to snip up to the tack without snipping through my seam. I've overlocked the inside edges of this piece, which you can tell by the position of the tack. For this next step, we are going to take the piece we prepared in the last stage and lay it right side together with the pocket that we've just prepared and tacked shut. It's important to make sure that that notch we snipped up to aligns with the bottom of the pocket where it intersects with the side seam. And I'm just popping some pins in, pinning through my tack once again and aligning the bottom of that snip with the bottom of the snip on the pocket. Once it has been pinned in, you can stitch. Once piece number 9 is stitched onto the pocket, I'm looking at the seam allowances here and I've got quite a few layers, so I'm going to layer the seam allowance. I'm going to trim the interface layer shortest as it sits furthest away from the seam that sits against the front of the garment. And then finally running a line of understitching up the edge of that piece number 9 so that when it sits behind the pocket, it pulls the pocket behind and prevents any facing from flipping forward. At this stage, we're now going to be moving on to the back placket. So we're going to take a pair of piece number 9. One should be interfaced and one will have no interfacing. The piece with the interfacing is going to be the front of the placket. We're going to lay them right sides together and we're going to stitch along the outside edge. So this is the edge without the tacks. So I'm popping some pins in, ready to stitch. Once this has been stitched, we can layer the seam allowances. So here you can see me trimming the interfaced seam allowance and clipping off the corner. I've given it a press and turned it right sides out, and then we can just tack those edges together. Once tacked, I'm snipping up to the tack Once again, not cutting through my stitching line. For this next stage, we will be attaching the placket we have just made to the back skirt. I'm going to align the bottom of the snip on the placket and the tack with that corner, and I am going to line up my placket. Here I'm just pinning it in, and I'm going to pin to match my tack and the bottom of the snip. Once this has been done, I can stitch from the tack to the top of the placket. Here I'm flipping it through so that the seam allowances are facing towards the back skirt. We can press these seam allowances down so they sit against the back skirt. You can see this here. Flipping the skirt so it is inside out, I can begin to line up all the raw edges of the placket, the facing and the pocket. What we want to do is run a line of stitching down the edges of these pieces to fully enclose the pocket. I'm popping a pin in where all those tacks meet, and I'm just pinning so all those seam allowances sit together. Once pinned, you can stitch down that opening with your 1.5cm seam allowance and zigzag or overlock the raw edges together. Once this has been done, we want to anchor down the back placket to the back of the pocket. To do so, I am anchoring it to the piece number 9 that we've used as a facing, and I'm running a stitch diagonally across the corner. Now the pocket is almost complete. What I'm doing here is popping some pins in at the top of the pocket and the back placket on the skirt to make sure that everything is aligned and the pocket is the correct size. Once I've done this, I'm going to run a line of stitching just at the bottom of the pocket opening. Moving on to step 24, we're going to begin arranging our pleats. For this you will need your pattern piece, as it has our notches, our tacks and our directional arrows which show us which direction our pleats are going to run in. It is important to note that all the pleats are numbered. This is the order in which we're going to construct the pleats. I'm going to flip my skirt. I've marked my centre front or centre back with a pin. For pleat number 1, I'm going to take the notch and I'm going to fold it towards that pin in the centre front or centre back. I'm inserting the pin and I'm making sure that that notch is lined up perfectly. I also like to insert a second pin as I feel it holds the pleat really nice and straight. Moving on to pleat number 2, it corresponds to the 2 notches once again, but this time I'm going to fold that notch towards the outside edge of the skirt, once again matching the notches. For pleat number 3, we are going to be matching the 2 tacks. So I'm taking one tack, I'm folding it inwards and matching the other tack following the directional arrow that was on the pattern piece. This will cover part of pleat number 2. For pleat number 4, we will once again be matching notches, so I'm just taking the outside notch and folding it towards the inner notch, following the directional arrow. Once I have finished one side, I'm flipping the skirt and repeating the process on the other side of that skirt. As you can see, I'm focusing really hard on trying to make sure that I'm pinning those centre pleats as close as I can to each other. This will prevent the pleat from opening and spreading when we attach the waistband.